Hello, my name is Lauren Thompson, and for the entire semester, I've been researching components for a popular song. For example, the genre, the lyrics, harmonies, effects, automation, mastering, choosing a label, and distribution is everything I've found that would go into what I say a formula for popularity. This whole project in this video I'm creating is gonna give an example of what I believe a popular song could sound like. So how I think I'm gonna do sources right now is I have 8 of them, and they all are kind of labeled in a way where they build up until we get to distribution. And the first one begins with genre, so that leads me into the beat, and I'll play it a little bit so we can hear what makes it a pop beat, which, like you, falls into the pop genre. Okay, so what we hear is piano, upbeat, and this builds into the pop genre. There's 3 main genres that dominate the music industry. That is rap, pop, and country. Choosing one of those would build your chances for a more successful and popular song. Now moving into the fun part, which is lyrics, source 2, what I've found is there's 3 very popular topics when making a song. It is girls, cars, and street cred. So for this song, I chose the topic of girls, and I went the route of falling in love with the girl because she's so beautiful, and how I'd pretty much do anything, and I like to get, I guess you could say, tipsy, so it makes it easier to talk to her, because other than that, I don't really know how. I'll show you what I have here for lyrics. I'll play a little example.
I get butterflies, see them kinda shine. What? Throw a party, got me drinking and those creatures dying. Yep, I'm filling my cup, sorry but really I'm falling in love. I wanna talk, tell you I like you a lot, but I need a drink so I say what I think, I'm gonna give you a sign. Anything works, all of my time, thrown in a verse. If only you knew, I'ma be fine with someone so perfect and pretty like you.
So what we have here is verse 1, and it's followed by chorus, then verse, chorus, bridge, then chorus again. Most pop songs typically go the route of chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. There's not really a given time for how long a pop song should be. It should be between anywhere of 2 and 3.5 minutes. So what we have here is verse 1, and it looks to be around the time of 16 seconds, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with a shorter first verse or anything. So moving into now the chorus, the lyrics play an important role because, like, my verse is fast, so I tried to keep it less wordy and more like they can understand what the message is, because the chorus is the thing that repeats, the memorable part of the song. And it's not me singing, it's my friend. So here we have, I'll play it. So the verses, the lyrics, they kind of go with the idea of a girl, and I don't know how to talk to her because she's so beautiful. And then the chorus describes how there is no one I see quite like you. It's beautiful, it's true, it's all that. This is the part I'm about to play that brings in the repetitive, memorable part of a song that would make people want to re-listen. This is found in multiple popular songs. For example, Ed Sheeran, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Katy Perry. They all have this one part of the song that just sticks with you, and that makes people want to re-listen. Or a part of the song that people will use in a video of their own. So they just have that sound, and then it just starts going everywhere and everywhere because people remember that sound, and they'll associate that sound of that song with you, creating a greater chance of popularity. So what I'm about to play here is that part.
So I'ma sing a song like
And so as that being the memorable part of the song, it's not complete without harmonies, which leads me into source 3, harmonies. So harmonies play just as an important role as the lyrics themselves. It adds more volume to the track, and it makes it just that much better. Multiple artists, almost every artist I know would harmonize with themselves vocally or instrumentally. So what a harmony is layered vocals, pitches higher, lower, and they just come together to deliver the effect of fullness. So I'll play the harmonies by themselves. This is the first one. Okay, now solo this one only. Then the third harmony. And they don't all have to be in the same pitch. And you can tell that one was extremely high. So played together, it sounds like. Everything together. So this again, the memorable part of the song. Harmonies add to that. Here we have it. So again, harmonies are very important to a song. Imagine it without the harmonies, it would just be not as memorable. This now leads me into effects. Effects also add into the pop genre. They all tie together in the formula for popularity. And this is a huge step that I found was effects. And I've implemented multiple techniques I've read on, the research I've done for how to make it sound that much better. So source 4, effects. So introducing to effects is beat effects and then vocal effects. Effects would just also add into extra words just to fill in space, just to give it just that much more volume. So what we have here are beat ghost is what I like to call it, but is essentially reversing the reverb so that it gives this. So when you put that together with the beat, and then this is probably the most important effect that I added. So what I did here was completely cut the beat and bring it back in. Also, small effect is slow motioning it back in, is shown by the pink, and then with white is just a fade. So what we did here is we took the beat, cut it, put the cut beat up top into a telephone vocals, which makes it sound like this. So that does that to the beat. And then what we have together with the beat in that is now. And what we have right here is just another effect that I like to do, which is slowing it down. You can see by the pink. So again, we have all together. Without it's just a beat cut normally. So now moving into vocal effects. What I like to do is take my original recording, and then I like to double track it with the parts that I like to emphasize. So we'll hear just the emphasized parts first, and then I'll play it with the original vocal track and see if I can see the difference.
When you break down in your bed, you won't get out of my head. Yeah, I'm writing that letter to make you feel better for when you break down in your bed. Wow, driving me crazy, your body amazing, but you won't get out of my head.
Okay, so it just adds that little bit more dimension. Moving into my favorite source, 5, automation. Okay, so for automation, this is the step that really took my music to another level, I'd say. What we have here is green means panning either left or to the right ear. I have these panned to the right and then these to the left. I don't know if the mic will pick it up through the way I'm recording right now, but it'll make it just come from different angles instead of just coming straight down the middle. I also figured out that there's more to automation than just panning. For example, this adds reverb to a specific part of the song, and it's not this part. See, it's up, down. Automation also controls volume. So say a part of the mix is too loud or too soft. we can turn it up here and other parts would be down. For example, I'll do this and turn this up, and now let's play it from here. So we can hear it's turned up completely. So following automation, we have this as well, all these different things. We can control what part of the song we want to have an increased reverb. And for this particular part, I'll play it here with both small play and ab reverb turned off.
I don't think I want nobody else tonight. We can be alone and I can speak my mind. These thoughts inside my head are bouncing left to right, so let me tell you that I want you to be.
Again, this would also fall into the effects category, but automation controls effects. So, played with now, small play and ab reverb.
I don't think I want nobody else tonight. We can be alone and I can speak my mind. These thoughts inside my head are bouncing left to right, so let me tell you that I want you to be.
And this creates more of a distant feel. So if I play it all together,
I don't think I want nobody else tonight. We can be alone and I can speak my mind. These thoughts inside my head are bouncing left to right, so let me tell you that I want you to be mine. I don't think I want nobody else tonight. We can be alone and I can speak my mind. These thoughts inside my head are bouncing left to right, so let me tell you that I want you to be mine.
and then the beat comes back in. So automation really controls all the small details that major artists use. And this right here was the main breakthrough in my research, was finding out the possibilities you can do with automation. I mean, they're endless. There's so many options. I'll even give an example of just how many options we have for automation. So if we go to Nectar, we can control all these different things that automation offers. Strength, wet mix with reverb, pitch, harmony, limiter. They're just all these different things that control bandwidth, noises, silencing. It's just endless. And now, introducing Source 6, mastering. Okay, so now for mastering, there's two steps we have to do here. One is make sure this is all the way to the very end of the song and where you want it to end. And then you go to File, Bounce, Project or Section, and then this is the part where some artists may get confused, like littler ones just starting off like me. I've learned usually MP3 is the main thing, like everybody knows an MP3 file. But no, you want to go to PCM, then file format WAV, resolution is 16-bit, and what this does is it makes the sound quality better, and it adds the automation and other effects into it. So this MP3 would normally not keep the automation. Say you did pan it to the left, then it wouldn't be there. It would just still be down the middle. But Wave allows it to pan to the left and right, and that follows with all the other automations. And now we hit OK, save it to the desktop or wherever you'd like, and now we let this bounce. And as this finishes up bouncing, we will now open a new file, close this one, create. Okay, so to save time, I've already put it into a file and added the match EQ, limiter, adaptive, and loudness meter. So why we put it into another file is something people usually don't do. They'd export it, bounce it like I did, then submit it to a distribution and have them send it out to whatever streaming service they like. But putting it back into another file allows the loudness to actually get to standard radio volume, which is set around -8 dBs. And what we can do here is play the loudest part of the song. So that would be around probably the chorus. So let's do that and see if it's around -8 dB or maybe a little bit less or higher. So we can see that it lays around -9, which is fine. There's just a little bit louder parts, so I'm keeping it around this volume. And what adaptive and limiters do is add to that volume. So normally it wouldn't be around this volume. It'd probably be around -1620-ish. And what match EQ does is it takes the audio file and then it matches it to what it thinks the correct high, low, and mid-range frequency should be. So in this case, it says there should be a little bit more low frequencies. Or in this case, should be a high here, cuts out a lot of the lows, maybe the screechy sounds that are applied when vocals or instruments clatter. This is the part that most people don't do. So now we would take this file and bounce it again. This also retains all the automation, doing it the same way, so it follows through. 2 steps here. And then this is the final step before we move into choosing a label, source 7. There's 3 main labels that I have found on research that are the best for music. First, DistroKid. Second, CD Baby. And third, United Masters. So they each offer some different characteristics, but all favor the same thing. So DistroKid charges music for $20 per song or album, but it's $20 yearly. They also don't allow set release times, which is a pretty big downfall for many artists, because setting an album release for probably a Friday night would be the best option, but they just do it for when it is ready, it'll go right away. How CD Baby does it is $50 up front, there's no yearly fees or anything. And like DistroKid, you can keep 100% of the royalties. That's why these two are favored the most. And United Masters, the third one, I prefer this one, even though they keep 10% of your royalties. It is just free for all. You don't have to pay any charges up front or yearly fees. And they also let you set a distribution time. So for this example of Like You, I will be posting through United Masters, leading us into source 8, distribution. And how we do this is now add music, drag and drop my file. So the file is uploaded, we'll click next. Now we drag our clip art into here. So let me do that. So now I have my clip art in, click next, and then I'll fill out all the information. And then when we get to the end step, I'll show you what we would do. Alright, so now we have everything set. We have the title, Like You, artist, Cicada, that's my name. Genre, pop, price, 99 cents. Release date, December 4th, 2020. Format, it's a single. So now all we have to do is confirm and submit. Alright, and that would conclude what I believe is a formula for a popular song. Starting with genre, the most popular being pop. Second, lyrics. What lyric topics would I choose would be girls. Harmonies, adding harmonies and vocal layering. It's a huge step in music production nowadays. Source 4, including effects. Different transitions, including reversing the reverb, cutting the beat, adding different beat techniques. I've learned all these different things just from doing research from the beginning of the semester till now. And there's so much more that I know there is out there. And then we move into automation, number 5. Automation includes different pannings and different ways of raising levels and lowering levels of reverb or anything that you choose. Number 6, mastering. Remember, it needs to be wave format and it needs to be set at a level of negative 8 dBs. That is the best way to export a file. Then choosing a label. Again, I chose United Masters because I know it. I'm very familiar with it. And it makes it really easy to distribute music to major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, all those different ones. And then finally, distribution. Getting that music out there, getting it so people can hear it, promote it after it's released. And overall, this project has taught me a lot about music. Not just this one in particular, but from the start of the semester, I've already learned so much more about music. And from the song I made right before school started until the song I just made now, Like You, I've gotten so much better, and I'm really glad that I've chose this topic of music and what is the formula for popularity. I think it'll help artists who are small and need a little bit of advice or different ways of doing music, and I'm just really glad that this is something I could do, is make this video. This is my Project 6 mashup, and I hope you enjoy. I don't think I want nobody else tonight.